The 2010s gave us some absolute bangers in horror and thriller. Get Out, Hereditary, Gone Girl. The list goes on. But for every massive hit, there were a dozen incredible films that barely anyone talked about. Today we're fixing that. These are the 10 most underrated horror and thriller movies of the 2010s. Films that flew completely under the radar, but absolutely deserve your attention. Trust me, some of these are going to blow your mind. Number 10. The Invitation, 2015. The Invitation is one of the most perfectly constructed slow-burn thrillers of the entire decade, and almost nobody saw it. A man attends a dinner party at his ex-wife's house, and something just feels off. The whole film is built on this incredible sustained dread, where you spend the entire runtime questioning whether the main character is paranoid or whether something genuinely sinister is happening. The payoff is absolutely worth it. If you like your thrillers psychological and patient, this one is essential. Number 9. The Autopsy of Jane Doe, 2016. André Øvredal directed this, and it is criminally underseen. A father and son coroner team receive an unidentified body, Jane Doe, and as they perform the autopsy, things start getting very strange very fast. The entire film takes place in one morgue, and it somehow becomes one of the most claustrophobic and terrifying horror experiences of the decade. Brian Cox and Emile Hirsch are both incredible in it. This is exactly the kind of film that makes you wonder why it didn't get more attention. Number 8. Enemy, 2013. Jake Gyllenhaal plays a man who discovers his exact double living in the same city. That's really all you need to know going in. Enemy is one of those films that burrows into your brain and refuses to leave. The ending alone will have you staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m, trying to figure out what you just watched. Denis Villeneuve directed this right around the time he was becoming one of the most exciting filmmakers in Hollywood. And it shows. It's weird, unsettling and brilliant. Number 7. Housebound, 2014. This New Zealand gem is one of the most entertaining horror films of the entire decade, and almost nobody outside of hardcore horror fans has seen it. A woman is placed under house arrest at her childhood home and starts to suspect the house might be haunted. What makes Housebound special is how genuinely funny it is alongside the scares. It walks the horror comedy line better than almost anything else released that decade. It's on Tubi and it's completely free to watch. Go find it tonight. Number 6. Coherence, 2013. Made for just $50,000. Yes, $50,000. Coherence is one of the most impressive low-budget thrillers ever made. 8 friends at a dinner party experience something strange when a comet passes overhead. That's all I'm going to say. The film was largely improvised, shot over 5 nights in a single house, and it somehow creates more genuine dread and paranoia than films made with 100 times the budget. If you love mind-bending sci-fi thrillers, this is absolutely essential viewing. Number 5. The Wailing, 2016. Korean cinema gave us Parasite, but The Wailing came 3 years earlier, and it is just as extraordinary. A mysterious stranger arrives in a small village, and people start dying in horrific ways. What follows is a 2.5-hour descent into folk horror, possession, and paranoia that genuinely defies genre categorization. It's terrifying, it's heartbreaking, and the ending is one of the most devastating in horror history. If you're only going to watch one foreign language horror film this year, make it this one. Number 4. Blue Ruin, 2013. Blue Ruin is a revenge thriller about a man with absolutely no idea how to get revenge, and that premise alone makes it one of the most refreshing thrillers of the decade. Instead of a slick action hero, you get a scared, bumbling regular person trying to navigate a situation completely out of his depth. The result is genuinely tense in a way that feels completely real. Jeremy Saulnier directed this on a shoestring budget and created something that stands up against any thriller of that era. Massively underrated. Number 3. The Sacrament, 2013. Ty West, the same director behind X and Pearl, made The Sacrament in 2013, and it is one of the most disturbing films of the entire decade. A Vice Media-style documentary crew travel to a remote commune to find a colleague's missing sister. What they find is something far darker than they expected. The film is inspired by the Jonestown Massacre, and it does not hold back. It's uncomfortable, It's realistic, and it builds to one of the most harrowing finales in recent horror history. Ty West was always this good. Most people just didn't know it yet. Number 2, Under the Shadow, 2016. Set in 1980s Tehran during the Iran-Iraq War. Under the Shadow follows a mother and daughter who become convinced something supernatural is haunting their apartment building. What makes this film extraordinary is how it uses horror as a lens to explore political oppression, cultural anxiety, and the terror of war. It's genuinely scary on a surface level, but the deeper you look, the more layers you find. This is the kind of film that reminds you horror can be genuinely meaningful. One of the most overlooked films of the entire decade, without question. Number 1, Pontypool, 2008. Okay, Pontypool technically came out in 2008, but it became a cult classic during the 2010s and it deserves the top spot on this list. A radio host in a small Canadian town starts receiving increasingly disturbing reports of mass violence outside, but he can't leave the studio and has no idea what's causing it. The entire film takes place inside a tiny radio station, and it is one of the most inventive, terrifying, and genuinely original horror films ever made. The concept behind how the horror spreads is unlike anything you've ever seen in the genre. It's available on multiple streaming platforms right now, and I genuinely cannot recommend it enough. If you watch one film from this list tonight, make it Pontypool. So those are the 10 most underrated horror and thriller movies of the 2010s, and honestly, every single one of them deserves way more attention than they got. Pontypool at number 1 is a hill I will absolutely die on. If you've seen any of these, drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you think I missed one, I genuinely want to hear it. Check out our other videos for more horror rankings and deep dives. Subscribe if you want more of this, and I'll see you in the next one.